If you're stuck in overthinking, replaying conversations, doubting decisions, and overanalyzing each and every move, this video is for you. Overthinking isn't just mental noise. Psychologically, it's your brain trying to predict and control the future so that you feel safe. But it ends up creating more anxiety instead. Hi, my name is Dilan. I'm a psychologist and a coach, and today we're going to break down what overthinking actually is and how we can finally break the overthinking cycle by training your brain to trust action over analysis. Let's start to talk about what overthinking really is. Overthinking isn't just thinking more thoughts, or deciding to think more, overanalyze more. It's rather thinking in loops that you sometimes cannot even control or resolve by your own. Overthinking is your brain's attempt to solve uncertainty, because your brain is constantly trying to predict the future. When we know what's going to happen in the future, because maybe we have experienced similar things before, then our brain feels safe and makes us feel safe because it knows what's going to happen, how we're going to react to what's going to happen. Everything is just logical and clear for us. That's survival. But when we can't control the future, which is always, or if we're in situations where we can't predict the future, we start overthinking, which means our brain puts thoughts into our head trying to resolve the issue at hand, which is we don't know what's going to happen next. So we got to think about what could happen, think about all these loops, create all these loops in our brain so we can at some point figure out what's going to happen to us in the immediate future. So you could say overthinking is kind of like over-preparing for possible danger, possible regret. It is not a conscious decision, but rather an automatic survival habit. And if we take a look at the brain, you can very clearly see in imaging that there's a network in our very, very complex brain, which is called the default mode network, DMN. And when we're not engaged in a task, so when we're resting, this default mode network can become overactive. And you see it in imaging when it lights up. So it lights up, it becomes overactive, which leads us to mentally wander or ruminate or catastrophize. So most overthinkers are actually super aware of what's happening, but they're stuck in a constant problem-solving mode. So why does overthinking sometimes feel useful or even productive? By doing something like thinking about a thing, overanalyzing something, and just going in these mental loops, it feels like we're doing something. It creates the illusion of productivity. But what it actually does is the more we think, the more fear we create around the thing we're thinking about. And when fear increases, our self-trust decreases. So we trust ourselves less and less to finally act. Do something about it, because we're comfortable in that self-protection mode of thinking about it. I gotta think about it. I can't act. First, I gotta think about it. So it creates the illusion of productivity, but it's actually not useful at all. And overthinking is most of the times just a response to emotional discomfort, not search for clarity. That's not the goal here. It's most of the times when I watch my clients overthink, in coaching sessions, it's for example, the one time somebody said they're overthinking because they don't know what to say in a conversation. They want to talk to somebody, maybe the conversation is hard, and then they start overthinking or overanalyzing the words they can use. This is not about gaining clarity over which words work better or which words are bad in that situation. This is about avoiding the emotion that's behind it, which is they are scared that they're going to be rejected for it. So what overthinking actually does is it's a way to procrastinate emotional discomfort, because we got to think about it first. We got to think about the words we say, and then we think this is soothing our anxiety, but what it actually does is it creates more anxiety. So it's more like when you get the chicken pox. I don't know if you had them. I did when I was a child. And you want to itch it, you want to scratch it, but it just gets worse when you do. And that's the thing with overthinking. It just gets worse. It doesn't get better with just time. So the loop kind of goes like this. The more you think, the harder it is to move. And the harder it gets to move or to act, the more you think. And then you start thinking like, why? Why can't I just get up and go get the conversation done? Why can't I just get up and do the email that I'm so scared of? Just know that it comes from a place of emotional discomfort. It's always an emotional trap behind it. We think it's helping us. We think it's productive. We think it's useful, but it really, really isn't. Quick interruption, I just wanted to let you know that I have a few spots open for my one-on-one coaching right now. So if you feel like you want support navigating your own human experience, there's a link in the description for a 15-minute discovery call with me. We meet, we talk, we see if coaching is the right next step for you. Now let's jump right back into the episode. Now let's talk about the real strategies from cognitive science that can help you to stop the overthinking cycle. People always think it's so hard to stop overthinking. And I get that because, like I said, it comes from an emotional place. So because we think overthinking protects us, we're scared to stop. We're scared to force ourselves to stop because then we don't have that protection anymore. Because when we stop overthinking, that means we have to face emotional discomfort. We have to face our fears, and our body, our brain, they don't want that. So they put us in this self-protection mode of overthinking. But when you want to stop, if you want to stop, and I encourage you to try this, I have 3 easy steps. It's really easy, and you can start doing them today. Let's look at them. What I'm going to say is you don't stop or fix your overthinking by just having better thoughts, by thinking better thoughts. No, you can fix it by reframing your thoughts. So by relating your thoughts differently than you used to before. So step 1 is to name it. When you realize that you're overthinking, the first simple step you need to do is stop and realize what's happening to you. Name it. Literally say it out loud. I am overthinking. This is an overthinking loop. I am stuck in overthinking mode. Whatever you want to say, just name it to make yourself aware that it is happening, to be conscious about what is happening right now. Step 2 is to reframe it. So you need to, when you're aware of it, that this is overthinking, this is fear, not logic, this is me not wanting to face my emotional discomfort. When you name it, then you can reframe it. So you can give the thought a different spin by saying, making yourself aware, if I think more, this is going to be worse. Or by saying, more thinking won't make me feel safer. Or you can even go like, not deciding, not making the decision is still a decision. So when you realize what's happening, and that's the first step, you gotta take control over this because it controls you until you control it. So you have to be aware of the situation, you have to name it, you have to reframe it and try to tell your brain, this is happening again. It cannot happen again because the more I think, the worse it gets. It's just like the itch. The more I scratch it, the worse it gets. So reframe your thoughts. First, they were something like, I need to think this through in order to protect myself. Now we're going to reframe that and put it into, I have to stop thinking about this because it only gets worse. And when you understand that, and when you did that, the third step is always to move it. You named it, you reframed it, now you need to move it. You have to take one tiny action, micro action, whatever action you can take in that moment, take action because action stops the loop. So text that person, click send that picture, pick the salad, whatever decision you need to make, whatever you're procrastinating in that moment, just do it. Believe me, there's no wrong decision. There's no wrong choice here. Nothing can happen. Nothing can happen. And if you overthink a decision that's way, way bigger than what I'm suggesting right now, if it's not about your lunch, an email, a text, a conversation, anything like that, if it's bigger than that, just do a micro action. Don't do the whole thing, but just move a little bit closer. Just you have to wake up and move. You have to act because you have to get your body distracted from the thinking mode. And like I said, the default mode network in your brain is only overactive when you are not actively doing something. So you need to be actively doing something because the DMN will shut down again. It is only active when we rest. So don't rest at that point. You have to rest, of course, but when you catch yourself overthinking, don't rest and sit in it, but rather stand up and do something. Act. Just make the choice. It's not that big a deal. And remember this, action, no matter how big or small, restores your sense of agency. It makes you feel like I am capable of doing something. I am capable of taking control over my own life. No matter if it's a good thing, if it's perfect, it doesn't have to be perfect. The action can be imperfect, and it can be that later on you say, okay, I should have rather eaten the pizza and not the salad. Said no one ever, but you know what I mean? Even if you regret the decision later, the action you put in has more benefits for you than if you're just stuck in an action and stuck in thinking mode. Why does this work? Even if the action is imperfect, even if you regret the action, it works because you're teaching your brain to trust action more than analysis. The more you do it like this, the more you use the framework of naming it, reframing it, and then moving it, acting upon it, the more you do that, the more your brain understands that action is good, action is okay, we like action, and we don't like overanalyzing, overthinking. You just have to make sure your brain knows by giving it evidence. How do you give it evidence? By doing it. And when you do it again and again and again, your brain starts to see, oh, hey, we actually did survive the action. We actually did survive the email we sent. We actually did survive that we picked the salad over the pizza. We actually did survive all of these things that we usually overthink. So now I can stop overthinking more and more and more. And like I said, there's different kinds of overthinkers. And I could do another video on that sometimes. But there's different kinds of overthinkers. I'm talking about overthinking literally everything, every small thing where you know that it's not useful, where you know I shouldn't be overthinking this because it's actually so simple, I should just do it, but you still overthink it. And then on the other hand, there's like overthinking huge decisions, and that is something completely different. Like if you think about turning your life around 360, a little bit of overthinking or a little bit of analyzing the thing is okay. I'm not telling you to just live out of your gut the whole time. Analyzing stuff is okay, and you can analyze the best words you can say to somebody when you want to have a hard conversation. That's totally fine, but I'm helping you to get out of the overthinking loop, which keeps you in inaction, by taking action. I promise you it will help. That's literally how I make my decisions right now, because I've always been someone that is very, very indecisive. I always wanted to take the best way home when walking home. I mean, what does it matter which way you go? If you go this way or that way, you will reach home eventually. But I used to stand there totally stuck because I didn't know what was the best way to get home. Not even the fastest. I wanted a mixture of, I want to go home fast, but I still want to get some steps in. I want to take a nice route where I don't meet creepy people, and I want to see some nature. Like so many criteria. Of course I was overthinking it, because there's no such thing as the perfect way to go home. There's literally just going home. So what I did is this framework. I was telling myself, Dylan, you're overthinking it. This is just fear of regret, because you are scared that you will reach home and be like, ah, damn, I regret taking that route. I mean, so stupid. So I was naming it. I reframed it. I was like, the more you think about this, the worse it's going to get. It's not going to get better. And then just making sure I know what's going on. And then, you know what I did? I started walking. And then I started walking intuitively. And let me tell you, it was the best thing ever, because now I just walk home, no matter the way, the road, the people I meet. And it's always nice because it's literally just going home. Yeah, I used to overthink stuff like that, or overthink what I'm going to have for lunch or whatever. I'm a very system-oriented person, so I need systems in place to make it easier for myself, because I cannot decide on everything on the spot. That's hard for me. So what you can do is you can create systems to help you with that, and you can just help your brain to stop overthinking by teaching it that action is better than inaction, just staying in analysis mode the whole time. Now that you've done that and understood that, hopefully, let's build up your tolerance for uncertainty, because we want this to last. We never want to overthink again. This is not only a thing that you do now because you're trying to rebrand yourself. This is something you want to stop overthinking for good. So you need to build up your tolerance towards uncertainty. You need to be okay with uncertainty. How? Most overthinking is driven by being scared of regret or the outcome. So people are asking themselves, what if I will regret this? What if it goes wrong? What if? So it's this deep discomfort of not knowing, of uncertainty. And let me tell you, it makes sense, because our brain is only scared from one single thing, and that is uncertainty or unfamiliarity. Our brain hates it when it cannot predict the future. That's the worst thing to our brains. The worst. So that's where it derives from, why you're not feeling okay with not knowing how certain things are going to end. And let me tell you, and you probably know this, but maybe you need this reminder. You cannot control outcomes. You can only control how you meet them. That is the only thing. And when you understand that, when you truly and fully understand that and live by that, life becomes so much easier. You will never overthink anything again, because you know, no matter which way I'm choosing, no matter how I will decide right now, I cannot control the outcome. I will never be able to control the outcome. I can only control how I will react to it and how I will move on with my life after knowing what's going to happen. And how I did this, how I created this mindset for myself, was deciding things quickly and intuitively, not letting my brain start overthinking, deciding things very, very quickly and not checking back, not looking back. Meaning, if I have to write an email, literally, just so fast, open the email up, write an email, just like not even look over it, send it. Don't look back. Don't look at the email again. It's so scary, right? Because you don't know, did I write it correctly? Could I have written it better or whatever? It is scary. For me, that was scary because I used to check my emails so often. And now, I literally couldn't care less, because I trust myself. I trust myself to do this right. I am confident that I am able to write an email without writing gibberish. And when you do these things like quickly and not checking back on them, and then what you should do is you should celebrate that you moved, that you acted. You should celebrate that you did the thing without overthinking, so your brain can learn that we like the movement, that we celebrate the movement, that the movement in itself, the action in itself is good, no matter the outcome, because we didn't have time to check the outcome. So you will rewire your brain to reward the movement and not perfection. This is literally what it takes. What most people do not understand is that you are capable of doing anything in the world. You want to become more confident? Easy. You want to become a person that, builds habits like this? Easy. You can do anything that you want to do. And I know some people are going to click off this video right now and be like, what is she talking about? You can do, and I truly believe that, you can do anything that you wish to do. Anything. You can become anyone. Literally, only by giving your brain what it needs, which is constant proof and evidence that this shit works. If you want to, you can literally rewire your brain. You can rewire your brain by doing things over and over and over again. So if you realize there's a decision ahead, just make the decision. The waiter comes to your table and asks you, what are you going to have to eat today? And you're not done thinking yet, because do I want the salad? Do I want the bowl? What do I want to eat? Literally decide on the spot. Anything. Decide on the spot what you're going to have. Then celebrate yourself. Give yourself a little clap. Celebrate yourself for doing it, for deciding so quickly. The more you do just that, decide and celebrate, the easier it will get for your brain to just move and not be stuck in overthinking mode. that is literally it. I don't know how I can say this I'm at a loss of words. This is all I have to say. Just do it as I said, and I promise you, this will be good. You will change whatever you want to change about yourself just by doing it the way I said. So this is how it's done. This is how you build confidence. You don't have confidence. You can just build your own confidence by slowly starting to trust in your agency. You trust. So I am confident because I trust myself that I can handle things. Not because I had the perfect outcome 10 out of 10 times, but because I know, because I celebrated my actions, no matter the outcome, I celebrated that I did it. And now I'm just thinking of the example. For example, when a baby starts walking, it's all wonky and it can go like 2 steps and then it falls over. Do you celebrate the baby? Yes, you do, because they just started walking. I mean, hello, that's a huge step. That's a huge action a baby just at one point takes. It starts walking. That's amazing. We celebrate that. We say, good job. And why do we stop this? Why do we stop celebrating the input instead of the outcome? Nowadays, we only celebrate the outcomes. We only get a high five if we have an A+ on an exam, not when we put in the effort, we put in the repetition. You know what I mean? Start celebrating things because of how much you put into it and not because of the outcome. We're drifting. The topic is overthinking, but now just quickly, this is how confidence is built, literally. Just do the thing, celebrate yourself for it, and you will become more confident. You will become a more confident person. You will have more self-trust because you prove to your brain, I can do it. No matter what, throw it at me, I can do it. Remember this, you don't stop overthinking by thinking harder, thinking better. You stop overthinking by deciding to make a move, by deciding to act, even while your mind is still unsure. That's not recklessness. That's literally how we build self-trust. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening or watching this far. I'm so grateful to you, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.